Welcome back to the rally right here on Twitter. Tyler Jacobs and Tim Doyle behind the bar, diving further into the NCAA Tournament, which tips off tomorrow. But Tim, I'm going to ask you to look weeks in advance. As we take a look at the East region for this 120, Villanova, the defending national champs, they sit on the one line in this bracket. Are you going to tell me that they're going to march their way through the East, go back to another Final Four, this time in Phoenix, Arizona?
I think they are. Why? Because their backcourt is experienced. They've been there before, and Josh Hart is willing to take big shots and make big shots. Jalen Brunson is basically Jay Wright Jr. He's an extension of the coach out on the floor. Tyler, we all know it wins in March. Right. It's guard play, and I'll put Villanova's guards up against anybody in the country.
Biggest threat to Nova in the East?
I think it's Duke. Hey, let's be honest. We all want to see that matchup, right? Duke's been playing so well with so much confidence. Grayson Allen was supposed to be their best player. Now is it Luke Kennard? Is it Jason Tatum? They have so many different options. Now you got Grayson Allen coming off the bench. But let's not forget SMU, Tim Jankovich's crew, a positionless team. And Shemi Ojale is a guy who could do a little bit of everything. I think it's going to be SMU, Duke, Villanova, but Villanova is going to wave that flag at the end.
The Wildcats running through the East, according to Tim Doyle here on the rally. Our buddy Captain Obvious of Hotels.com is also here in the house tonight on the rally. Captain Obvious, how do you think Villanova will fare once they get to the Final Four in Phoenix?
Things in Phoenix are going to get really heated. That's not uncommon this time of year. It's the desert.
And the desert is where the Cats are going to try and play for another national championship. Tim, let's turn our attention now to the West bracket as we take a look at the 16 squads in this unit. Gonzaga, just one loss all season long. They are the one seed on the one line, but Arizona's, Florida State's there as well. Pretty good bracket. Who do you think comes out of the West and ends up in Phoenix alongside Villanova in the Final Four?
I think it's going to be the Seminoles here. They have a dynamic squad. They've always been able to defend, but this year offensively, so much more talented. Jonathan Isaac, Dwayne Bacon. Come on. Who doesn't like Bacon, for crying out loud? I think you couple the athleticism this year, one of the top scoring teams in the ACC. Leonard Hamilton has been down in Tallahassee, it seems like, forever. This is his most talented team. He's got multiple pros. I don't trust Gonzaga. They never seem to get over the hump. This year,
Seminoles, you seem to be sporting your Seminole garnet. I don't know where the gold is at there, but Florida State, according to Tim Doyle, going to make its way through the West and end up in Phoenix, Arizona as one of the Final Four. Captain Obvious of Hotels.com. How do you feel about that choice?
The red and gold team is looking good. I should know.
Captain Obvious, you do indeed look good in red and gold. And if you're a Florida State Seminole fan, wear all the garnet and gold that you can, the red and gold, whatever color that is in gold down there in Tallahassee, because Tim Doyle thinks your team is going to be a Final Four contender. Let's move to the Midwest region for another 120, Tim. We take a look at what Kansas has to march through to get to a Final Four. They are the 1 seed. Louisville is a 2 seed there. Do you think Kansas has the easiest route of any of the 1 seeds to the Final Four?
I do. I think a real threat to them is going to be that Sweet 16 matchup against Purdue. I think when you look at that Purdue roster, they have multiple pros, and I think Purdue is actually better. Their front line is better than Kansas. Now, obviously, major advantage backcourt there towards the Jayhawks. Let's not forget, only a few years ago, they matched up in the tournament. Robbie Hummel almost led his Boilermaker team past Kansas. That was a fantastic game. That's going to be a bloodbath. That is going to be a tough matchup. I'm going to pick Purdue there. Ooh. So with Purdue winning, that's going to open up the bracket a little bit. So now you got to dig. I don't trust Louisville. I think they're a team that has upset capability. So even though they lost Chris Boucher, quack, Goldberg, Gordon Bombay, all the old Mighty Ducks, they're going to be happy because Oregon is going to end up winning this region.
The Oregon Ducks, Charlie Conway somewhere shaking his fist on a bench. Happy to hear, according to Tim Doyle, that they will be the team advancing to Phoenix and the Final Four out of the Midwest. Captain Obvious, do you like Oregon's chances?
If Oregon keeps playing the way they've been playing, they'll probably keep playing.
Such eloquence, could not have said it better myself, Captain Obvious. Tim, our final bracket to take a look at is the South region. The number 1 seed, the North Carolina Tar Heels. You have been beating this drum all season long. Carolina going to the Final Four.
Well, they did me no favors. Okay, look at this South region.
Ooh, it is brutal.
I mean, geez Louise, I love Middle Tennessee, but maybe they go out there and get one win. Obviously, UCLA, Dayton, Kentucky, Cincinnati, so many great teams in this bracket. Forget that. When you get on that pony as a little boy or a little girl, you got to stay on that pony until the very end. I look at North Carolina, I see balanced scoring, Big key for them, Joe Barry III has to stay on the floor. If he's on the court, Tyler, they can go out there and lay 100 or 90 on people, 80, high 80s. They can score at will. They love to push pace. Biggest thing, don't shoot threes. Get into the paint, points in the paint, dominate teams in that matter. North Carolina said it from day one. You said it. November, I saw the talent. People forget about them. Last year, lost in the national championship game. Got a #1 seed. Won the ACC by 2 games. Respect, there's been a lack of throughout the world of college basketball. I think they knock off Kentucky to go to the Final Four. Roy Williams, old Roy himself, moves on.
Captain Obvious, do you, like Tim, think UNC can come out of this region?
They have a good shot at winning if they score the most points.
Captain Obvious, you sure as hell know your college hoops, because like Tim said, they like to score buckets in bunches there with the North Carolina Tar Heels. All right, you have said it. Your Final Four looks like this, Tim Doyle. You have Villanova, you have Florida State, you have Oregon, you have North Carolina. Who is going to play for all the marbles?
Rematch!
What?
We're going to see Villanova take on North Carolina in the championship. I think the size and athleticism is going to be a little bit too much for the Oregon Ducks. They're really going to miss Chris Boucher in that game. And Villanova, the guard play, the steadiness, taking care of the basketball, that's going to give Florida State problems. They're going to take them out of their comfort zone. So why not? Why wouldn't we want to see this?
It was great last year.
Chris Jenkins buries the 3. I mean, what a crazy year in sports. I think Villanova added to the crazy year that was. But at the end of the day, there can only be one. Who takes it home? Said about the horse before. We're talking about a thoroughbred. We're talking about Secretariat. We're talking about American Pharoah. Not only are we going to win the Triple Crown, we're going to win the Breeders' Cup as well. I think that North Carolina goes out there, plays its best basketball, plays inspired basketball, gets good guard play, balanced with their front line, as good as anyone in college basketball. And old Roy gets #2. He's good in March. He's had a great coaching career. I think when we talk about some of the great coaches in college basketball, he often gets overlooked. This one puts him in a whole new category.
Captain Obvious of Hotels.com fame. How do you like those picks?
At the end of this tournament, we'll know who won.
Tim, he makes way too much sense. I guess that's why they call him Captain Obvious. And he will be back with us later on the rally this evening. I'm going to have a little rapid-fire Q&A with Captain Obvious, and he's going to share his thoughts on some of the schools that have received one of 68 invites to the NCAA Tournament. Instant savings now, 3 nights later, Hotels.com. That you can thank for this conversation on the NCAA Tournament.